Got an interesting one for you guys today. We're gonna jump right into it. Shout out to the Redditors out there, man. You guys are changing the world. Let's get into that intro.
The author. The author. Spit flows, rip shows, a monster. Money over the bitches is what they torture. Slick talk with pain and torture.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Anonymous, the author, aka Anonymous Rap Guy, and I am back with another Anonymous Author episode, man. I don't even know what number episode we're on, but I'm sure you'll see it in the description. I've just been plowing ahead every week, man, giving my rants and ravings. And today we have a pretty cool story, a pretty good, I want to say this is a Robin Hood story of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, man. So GameStop, if you have not been aware, if you're not big on stocks, has run up. I believe it's over like 400% from year to date, like probably even more than that. It was trading at about $20 going into this year, and yesterday I believe it closed at, I believe it was a high of 400. So people have been making a crap ton of money, and this all originally started from a Reddit thread, Wallstreet Bets. Reddit thread of investors, pretty much, that just go in and give their opinion on stuff. Nothing illegal. It's literally nothing illegal whatsoever. It's just a Reddit thread. If you're not familiar with Reddit, just a website where you can basically make these threads and make a community off of, you know, different people who share thoughts and opinions. It's kind of like a think tank in a way, but it's just really people sharing opinions. But anyway, man. GameStop, this is going to be kind of long-winded, so if you have no interest in finance whatsoever, you might just want to go get another episode. But I think that this is just absolutely awesome to me. It's really giving the power and the money back in the hands of the little guy. But anyway, back to be a more linear conversation. People on the Reddit thread on Wallstreet Bets basically said, hey, these hedge funds are shorting GameStop, keeping it artificially low in a sense. They were shorting 140% of the stock, meaning that they were shorting more shares than actually existed in the marketplace, which should be. Now that to me is criminal, but the SEC does not have any regulations or, you know, any kind of stopping to that whatsoever. So the people figured, hey, why don't we take our own money and invest in GameStop? Let's raise the price and force these hedge funds out and force them to lose a whole bunch of money, because what they're doing is illegal and crap. Because hedge funds historically have kept the little guy out. Like if you don't have like millions of dollars to invest, there's no way that you're going to speak with a hedge fund manager, let alone a hedge fund analyst, let alone one of these big wigs that sit at the table and move massive amounts of money around to try to, in a lot of ways, manipulate the market. But these guys basically came together, a bunch of people, with like small amounts to invest in, anywhere from 500 to 10,000, depending on their level of commitment to this cause. And they started buying up the shares. They started buying up these shares so that the shorts couldn't make the money, saying that the stock was going to stay down essentially. And from last that I checked, Melvin Capital, which is a huge hedge fund that was shorting a ridiculous amount in GameStop, had actually lost 30% of their fund in just this stock alone. So a lot of the we'll call them heroes, that's what I want to call them, are considering this a big win. They moved out of their position in GameStop. They are no longer shorting the stock whatsoever, and they had to reposition and refund their portfolio. They had to get an infusion of about, I believe it was close to $3 billion to try to stay afloat and not have to go bankrupt. And to me, that is just fantastic, man. Like, we came together and said, hey, man, you guys are crap. We're tired of the mess. We're tired of you keeping GameStop down. We're tired of you manipulating the market in a way that you think is beneficial. And we're going to do our own thing. And we're going to play the exact game that you're playing and make ourselves money while you guys are going to be left holding the stick, which has happened so much over the years, especially with hedge funds screwing out the little guy, not letting the little guy even get a seat at the table. And I definitely feel like that this is a way for people to come together and to really realize that the power that social media has, man. I mean, social media has changed so much about the world and the the historical power holders and the manipulators and these just archaeological archetypes. I want to say, like, they're stuck in their ways, man. They're stuck doing what they want to do, and they historically would not let anybody else sit at the table. That's why I feel like a lot of the I'm sorry, man, I'm getting emotional about this, but a lot of the change that we're going to see in the coming years, in the coming decades, is really going to be driven off of social media, which is why I believe that a lot of the platforms and a lot of the access that we have should not be tampered with. I feel like it should still be a completely free and open internet. There should not be anyone to throttle how much broadband service that you're getting, how much access that you're actually getting to these places. I personally feel like it's a human right, but that's a political discussion for another day. Switzerland, you got it right. I think it's Switzerland. But social media, like YouTube, like I'm just going to give an example of YouTube. YouTube has given a voice to millions, literally millions of people that would not at all have a voice, let's just go back to 1930s, 1940s. Let's go back to the 80s and 90s, man. Like, it was traditionally a few people that held all the power in the world. Now, there's still a bunch of people tuning into traditional TV stations like Fox and CNBC and, we'll just say Cartoon Network. And just like, I don't want to paint the picture as that there are these huge companies that are doing malicious and doing vile intent. I mean, there's some of these companies have no agenda and no hate whatsoever. They just want to make money. That's just what business and companies do. They're in the business of making money. But in the process, they have excluded a bunch of people that may have been seen as amateur or may have been seen as not what the public wanted, or maybe they didn't fit certain demographics or check certain boxes in certain ways that didn't allow them to invest in them. And with YouTube, anyone can just grab a camcorder, can use their phone, can do whatever you want and start recording, and the marketplace decides whether or not that they want to mess with you. People out there decide, hey, I really like what you're doing, and you are forced to adjust accordingly. If for instance, you're just starting out and you have no followers, you've been at it for years, and you have to reposition yourself and say, hey, what am I doing or what am I not doing right to really get the attention of people? Now, sometimes that manifests in horrible and ugly ways. Sometimes people just do it for the gram. I don't remember if y'all remember that back in the day, but people were just doing stuff just to strictly do stuff and to get followers and to get some retweets or whatever you want to call it. But by and large, I think that the market does a great play. And by market, I don't mean stock market. I just mean the market of free commerce, the market of free enterprise, where if people like what you're doing, you keep doing it and you make money. That's the market. If you can weaponize a skill by making money or drawing attention, which is in this day and age making money. If you're getting attention, you're getting paid. I don't care what you're doing. If you're getting eyes on what you're doing, somebody's going to slide in and say, hey man, can I slide an ad in here? Hey, can you mention me for a couple bucks? And I think that that's absolutely beautiful. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting a following, getting people who want to listen to your message, who want to follow you, who want to have an interest in what you have an interest in, and maybe educating them and really them bringing them into a fold, into a new kind of thinking, man. I think that's super dope. I'm an anarchist by nature, if you guys don't know. Anonymous, the author, Anarchy Anonymous. I think that decoupling and taking power away from the people that have historically had it is a beautiful thing. I think that a lot of these places they've really just gotten into the mode of, hey, we've had this power for so long, we don't really have to change up our model, we don't have to adapt with the times, since people are forced to tune into us, since we're the only horse in town, you know what I mean? We're the only show in the city. They have to watch us. And now it's like, no, we don't. We don't have to follow your lead anymore. For these investors or these day traders, these small, I'll say small time, but 500,000 in the market is considered small time. So y'all know I'm just out of the game at this point. But a lot of these small time investors are like, hey man, in the GameStop situation, hey man, we're tired of having to sit at your table and buy into your funds and be forced into moving in certain ways that you deem necessary. We're going to make our own way. We're going to take the power away from you from GameStop. We're going to force you to sell your position. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to get back in the later times, and I mean, that's neither here nor there. The point was simply to say, we have enough power to completely mess up and to throw off the cogs in your machine. If you want to come back in and make these, try to come in on the back end, hey, that's a risk you want to take. But we've been taking all the risk. We've been the small guy. We don't have the same access to information that you guys have. We're not allowed to sit at certain meetings simply because we don't have the funds. And that's literally how, that's how they kept people out. That's how they kept people of color down. That's how they kept people in the South down. It's like, hey, I don't want to generally say people in the South, but people who they deemed that were too dumb or too ignorant or not educated enough. It's like, hey, we know best. So we should be making all the decisions, and you should just have to follow our lead, and I think that's criminal. But I love what these Redditors are doing, man. You Redditors are saving the world, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Anonymous, the author, is on your side, man. I definitely love what you guys are doing. I definitely love what's out there. And it's not like it's a concerted effort, but like there's one figurehead leading everything. It's literally just a bunch of people getting together and taking the power back. And, like, it makes me want to cry. It really does. But, this just leads into a larger conversation about social media and power that people have that they might not know that they have, that might not be aware of the abilities that they can have access to. Like, it just takes people. Like, that's what's funneling this whole capitalism train is people, consumers, buyers, sellers. That's it. There's no guy at the top that has any more information than you have, other than if they want to exclude you from the access to information, which should be criminal. Like, the internet is such a beautiful place. Like, the degrees that they force people to have, and when I say they, I do mean general authority, like authoritarian type of, hey, if you don't have this degree, you can't come to this job, you can't sit down at the table. It doesn't matter if you can do the job. We don't care if you've been doing it for 10 years. Like, I knew a guy who had been working at a auto shop. You could damn near say he started the auto shop when it originally started. And he had been working there for, I believe, 10 or 15 years. And then the company got bought out by a larger organization. And then this larger organization was forcing people that if you were going to work on cars, you had to check. Hey guys, thanks for checking me out today. Before you leave, check out the Patreon. I got a link down in the description. Please subscribe and leave a comment to let me know how I can make my content better or any kind of content that you guys want to see. Click like so YouTube can know that I'm a pretty dope reactor, and leave any thoughts that you guys have today, guys. Peace.
And I just really want the simple